Hello and welcome to Reality TV Cringe. I am one of your hosts, the one with the great hair. God, the hair looks great today. My name is Delia, and I'm here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing today, Beatrice?
You know, I'm doing good, but I'm here to talk some shit about these fucking talkbacks.
We need to wrap up the whole special bonus episodes of Sister Wives. We've got some shit to say.
Yeah.
But before we do, we have to issue you a disclaimer because hide your wife and hide your kids. We are a politically incorrect podcast. We say offensive things. We use bad words. We're not here to massage your fifis.
No.
And full of your soul.
Like Robin Brown.
That's right. You might want to get out of this dumpster, but if you're a down raccoon, like if you're down for all the garbage, then this is the place for you, and welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Also, go follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Reality TV Cringe. We're starting our coverage of 1,000 Pound Sisters this month on there.
There's some shit going down with those sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you are watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like and to comment and to share and to subscribe.
Please.
Because everything you do really helps us to grow, and we want to thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Before we get into this episode, my hair is so
Your
crazy.
hair is crazy.
Before we get to this episode, do you have any like major takeaways?
Well, these talkbacks were interesting. Well, they had the allure because they were going to be answering fan questions.
Yeah.
And the fan questions were freaking stupid.
Come
like,
on.
Talking about Cody's hair and dumb shit, calling Meri out for being a doormat. And then she's like, I'm not a doormat.
You are a doormat. You're
You are.
objectively a doormat. I
You
can show you
allowed yourself
footage,
to be.
timestamps. You're a doormat lady.
These questions were dumb.
There could have been so many other questions
Yeah.
that would have been more fitting and
Yep.
satisfying to the raccoons, but they didn't do it.
Of course not.
My major takeaway is, wow, Robin seems unhappy.
Dude, she looks so uncomfortable.
She cannot sit in the fullness of the shit she has done. Like, she can't even watch the screen.
Yes.
She like would look down and every now and again would look up to see the screen.
Yep.
She's fucking cleaning
Picking
her
at her
nails, which
nails.
by the way is disgusting to me. And she's flipping her hair all
Yep.
the time and she's fidgeting.
And she's like sitting away from Kody in a lot of scenes, but then he'll kind of pull her back a little bit. Like, she's like not happy.
She
with
does
this.
not want to be doing this.
Nope.
And so that makes me happy because it sounds like maybe production compelled them legally,
Yes.
contractually to sit their unhappy asses down on that monster sofa next to the Dickensian village
And all that artwork.
and to try to answer some questions. So she just seems really, really unhappy. And that gave me a little hope because maybe she doesn't want to be with Kody and maybe she's going to be the last wife out, which would be superb for us.
That would be insane. If she left
my
his
God.
ass and then took 50% or more of all of his assets and
according
shit.
to Janelle.
Oh my God, that'd be so great.
I would just, and I think it would be better for her because who
Yes.
wants to be with a guy who's so angry
Yep.
and so petty and so unspiritual
Yep.
and so broke here shortly?
And
'Cause,
bald.
He ain't got the funds anymore. He doesn't have an actual job and all these
Nope.
other women have left. I mean, get out while you can, Robin.
I mean, for real.
Is this
though.
really working for you?
No, it's not.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
It was wild to watch them. Okay, let's get into the Sister Wives talkbacks. We're going to be going over talkback 1 and talkback 2.
Yep.
We realize that a lot of you watched these last week because apparently you have cable.
Yeah.
And
Who
live
has
TV.
cable
I
anymore?
don't have cable, but we took a break. And so
Yeah.
we're back now just to kind of clump it all together and have more Sister Wives conversations, which frankly, we know you love.
Oh, yeah.
So we're here to talk about it. Let's start the talk back with a flashback to them discussing Gabe and Garrison, Janelle's sons, calling Robin's ass and asking, do you think we could get our dad back, bitch? And her saying, I never wanted an apology for how they abused me. But it would be nice. And so we have everybody commenting around that. What were your thoughts?
Which I just like, I don't understand why Kody and Robin are still denying the fact that they didn't want an apology from Gabe and Garrison because all of your actions say that you do. You don't want them to come over to your house for Christmas because of the tension, because things haven't been worked out, meaning the kids haven't groveled to beg for your love and apologize and bow down to Master Kody and Master Robin. I'm so sorry. We're such terrible family members to you guys. You guys did everything right. Like, that's what you wanted.
Please,
Quit
Lord,
fucking
may I be
denying
your
it.
child again? Please, Lord, will you love
Father.
me again? Yeah. I know. And Kody sits on the couch and he says it's Janelle who told his kids that they can't come to his house. And
Okay.
this is how she has betrayed me. I'm going to be like this
Whatever.
the entire time. I'm going to be off the chain because this is absurd.
I know.
And I don't see how you're sitting there watching this and getting the feedback of your audience and still behaving this way.
I know, it's crazy. But what do you think about Robin kind of challenging him on some of these things? Like, he's like, did Janelle actually say that to you? Or did Janelle actually do that? And he's like, well, that's how she made me feel. And Robin kind of has a look on her face like, but that's not what you told me, though. Like, I don't know. These talkbacks gave me such a weird vibe with Robin of like, maybe Cody's been lying to Robin about everything that's been happening with all of these wives. And she just believed it for all of these years, like the dummy she is, because she can't use her eyeballs and see what's actually happening. I just wonder if she was realizing like, wow, Kody, you made me look like a fool in the process of all of this because I had to believe your bullshit and defend your bullshit this whole
No,
entire
she's
time.
not thinking that.
I don't know. Maybe.
She's just trying to play devil's advocate and curry favor from the audience.
Is
like,
she
I see
smart
her
enough for
side of
that?
it. Yeah, I see her side of it, everybody. So let me ask Kody those hard questions. Kody, are you okay? Is it okay that I said that, Kody?
Cody.
Oh my God, shut up. Also, when they're talking about Gabe and Garrison and the rest of the kids not being welcome in the home, Robin mutters, "It's not true." Just like when Christine was announcing that she was leaving the family and she's sitting on the porch, she's like, "That's a lie.
Yeah.
That you guys weren't happy in Vegas. That's a lie." She mutters shit under her breath.
She
Like,
does.
speak up. What's your opinion?
Mm-hmm. Shady.
And then we have Christine commenting to this, and she's saying, well, here you go, Kody. These are the boys that you raised. You raised strong boys who aren't just going to come back and kiss the ring and beg to be in your family.
Yep.
Like, that's not going to happen, and that's the way you raised them. And I'm like, absolutely.
Preach.
The next flashback that I wanted to cover was Janelle talking about her relationship with Kody, and the reason it was so strong and the reason it was so good was because he had always historically been so engaged with her children. But once that stopped right around the end of Vegas and Flagstaff, like, then she started to see things a little differently and the relationship soured.
Yeah.
Cut to Kody.
Who's just like, well, I will engage. Isn't this where he talks about engaging his kids? I'll engage them only
I do
if they
engage them.
if they engage me. That's what he said.
He says, I'm engaged with my kids. But he's kind of said this before. Like, I call my kids.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I haven't called him in 3 years, but I call my kids. I'll talk to my kids, but I didn't talk to my kids. Like, he wants to put on the facade that he's communicating with his kids and that he's engaged, but then he always has a tell. And the tell is him immediately saying, I mean, if they engage with me.
Exactly.
I'm not going to engage with them if they don't want to engage with me.
It's the same argument he uses with the wives. Like, I was equal with my time because I came over at 6 p.m. and I stayed until 8 p.m. and then I went back to Robin's house. I came. I fulfilled my duty as a husband.
I
So you
checked
should
the
be okay.
schedule.
Yes. So it's the same bullshit over and over and over again.
And it always puts the onus on everybody else
Yep.
to do the heavy lifting of maintaining a relationship with him. Well, guess what? You're not worth it.
No.
So we're not going to do it. And Gabe and Garrison, they ain't going to do it. The next flashback we have is the infamous jacket scene with Meri and Robin, where Meri goes over to Robin's house right before Thanksgiving, and Robin does not let her into the house like a normal person would do. Instead, she brings out a jacket and gives it to Meri. And I guess Meri got some backlash for that.
Which is interesting because it was Cody's jacket that Robin gave. And Meri says that this was a joke when she said it on TV, but I don't believe that. She says, oh, it's like a hug from Kody. And she plays it off like, no, that was a joke. I don't know why people don't get my humor. I'm sarcastic. I'm like, I don't know about that. I feel like that came from a real place.
Tears of a clown, honey.
Yes.
You're crying on the inside. What is that meme of the mask? I'm such an old person, but like a mask, and then you're crying on this. That's what you're doing. But she also says something really random when she's like, come on, I knew exactly where our relationship was at the time.
What are you talking about?
I'm not a doormat. But then I'm like, okay, wait though. Mm-hmm. Didn't you say that you weren't 100% clear about whether it was going to work out with you and Kody until the anniversary, 2021 or 2022?
Uh-huh. And weren't you just saying this entire season that you still have hope for things to get better with you and Kody?
And that you haven't made a decision yet?
Like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, well, I don't know. You did have hope.
Yes.
You make
just
no
admit
sense. But
that.
just admit it. Why is it so hard to just tell the truth? That's my thing.
I know.
We also have another flashback that they comment on. This is where Robin is telling Meri that she just doesn't understand what happened to the family. What didn't I know? Who are these people? Somebody has to give me an explanation for why my family is destroyed. I'm going to be like this the entire time. Why? I'm just like, oh, God.
This again. I just don't understand. Like, just admit that you saw what you saw in the family. You saw them as a happy family. Didn't realize that they had so many problems until it started coming to surface. But you went to fucking therapy with them, bitch.
Yeah, you were there the entire time. Thank you.
It's on film.
Christine calls it out. She's like, Robin is pretending.
Yep.
Robin is essentially lying. She's pretending she doesn't know what happened, but she was at all the therapy appointments. She understood what all of our issues were. So she had a first-hand seat, front row seat to the entire thing. So what's so confusing, bitch? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
It was also in this section, though, that Kody kind of pops in. It's like a non sequitur, but he starts talking about how the relationships really started to fall apart. And he starts to begin the narrative of pinning it on Christine.
Yeah.
Like it really started to fall apart for me when Christine said no to the one big house. When Christine said no to the one big house, that's when I knew she didn't want the one big family. She didn't share my dream and my big picture. Because she didn't share my big picture, I was just like, over it. I can't do it anymore. I'm Atlas. The world is on my shoulders. I'm putting the world down. Somebody else pick it up. I don't have the strength anymore to keep doing this.
Which is just crazy to me because when they pitched this whole big picture, like giant house on Coyote Pass and everything, this was like 8 or 9 years after they had been all separated because they had Flagstaff and everything. Like, so it had been a really long time since you guys had shared quarters. And Christine has since come out and said, yeah, I didn't want the big house because I didn't want to be the basement wife in a giant house and see you at Robin's part of the house 24/7. Yeah, I didn't want that. I'd rather have my own place so I could ignore the fact that you were favoriting Robin.
Yeah, I know you. I've been around you, and I don't want that life anymore. I'm sorry if that disturbs you or if you don't like that, but that's where we are. But apparently this is like the critical epiphany for Kody Brown. This is when he gives up on the entire family. I'm like, I don't care. You gave up when you started favoriting Robin.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
Oh, and then we all watch as Robin says, I thought I picked a family that was safe for my kids.
What does that even mean?
I thought it was going to be safe for my kids.
What does that even mean? Your family is safe.
Which Christine immediately says, that's bullshit. She's like, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
We were and are a safe family. She is re-victimizing herself.
And her kids, too.
And in doing so, not taking any responsibility for the unsafe trash bag we became because of you.
Yep.
And yeah, it's unsafe now because people are pissed. People are disenfranchised. People are estranged. People have feelings about that.
Yeah.
You are at the center of that vortex, ho.
Even then, like, what does it even fucking mean? Unsafe or safe? Like, your kids are safe with Kody. They're safe in your guys' little monogamous family that you have going on separate from everybody else. Like, if you're really going to be mad because your kids aren't accepted by the other kids who have bitterness towards you for how you've handled this and how you've taken away their father from their mothers and from them, then you're just stupid. I mean, she's just ridiculous to me.
She is. It's not safe for my heart. It's not safe for me to invest my love. Oh my God.
up.
Self-sacrifice. Maybe give something. Maybe show
Yeah.
up. Maybe try to create a new safe space. Do something instead of bitch and cry or non-cry.
Yeah.
Okay, next flashback. We have Janelle and Christine saying that once Robin came into the family, the traditions stopped and that there was a shakeup.
And I think Robin and Cody react to that and say
they do not like that.
they didn't stop. They just changed. And actually, Robin made them better.
Right. We got more traditions because of Robin. Because Robin liked Christmas. We've discussed this before.
With her
She's
Dickensian
got her
village.
Dickensian village. She's acquiring those pieces methodically. It's going to take up the whole floor. That's what's in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And she just walks it like a maze.
Yeah.
And she thinks to herself, please, sir, may I have another Dickensian village? Anyway, what were we talking about?
The traditions.
Yes. And so the topic of the Friday night dinners come up because when Christine and Janelle were talking about it, they were talking about how awesome it was that they used to have these dinners.
Yeah.
And Cody and Robin are like, yeah, well, the kids grew up and they got busy. And so we just stopped having them. And then Robin starts in a very forlorn way. She starts bemoaning the fact that I really miss them. I hated it when those ended and you had to come to my house and we could have sexy time all night. My Friday nights were free, baby.
While our nanny is watching our children.
That's right. We go on dates.
Yeah.
Eat the box. So we got another opportunity to hear them lie about it, and that was awesome. But then Cody does his great line where he's like, yeah, but they're trying to blame it all on you, Robin. Well, then they don't know me.
No, nobody knows you.
Nobody knows you.
Well, then why don't you be honest about who you are? Because if nobody knows you, because we're perceiving you guys to be a bunch of assholes, why don't you come out and actually give us something that would prove us wrong?
Like,
you guys
open your house to us for starters. I'd like to see the Dickensian village. I'd like to see what's in the basement in all those boxes. I want to know what supplements you're taking because they're all over your kitchen counter. I want to know your innermost thoughts. If you would just share them without lying. I don't know if it's possible though.
But you don't. And you're going to talk about the family traditions changing. But I'm like, it wasn't just that. You guys stopped praying together. You stopped huddling together.
Right.
You stopped getting together as a family and as couples. So yeah, everything did change when Robin came into the picture. That's not necessarily blaming Robin 100%. It's blaming Cody.
Well, in fact, if it's Janelle speaking to that, she's like, actually, it's Cody's fault because when Robin came into the family and he fell in love with her because she had her breakdancing pussy, well, then the responsibility was to rise to the occasion to continue to still take care of the rest of the family. It's just a higher calling that you have now, Cody.
Yep.
Can you manage it?
Nope.
The answer is no.
Nope.
Next flashback, we go on over to Salsa Brava and Cody talking about in the clip how he feels betrayed because Christine just stays shit talking me to all my kids. And I know she's shit talking me. Why? To which Christine's like, I don't shit talk him. I mean, my kids come to me.
Yeah.
They can see that I'm unhappy and they ask me questions and they're unhappy because they haven't seen their father in 14 years. And so, yeah, we commiserate about it and we talk a little bit, but it's not me. I don't believe her.
Yeah, that's my thought with it. I'm like, you're talking shit to your kids. Like, just admit that you're talking shit to them. And it's like, it's one thing to talk shit to your adult children about it. I wonder if she talks to Truly about it. I would hope not. But I wouldn't put it past Christine, though, to have been doing this like throughout their entire marriage, just using her kids as kind of a confidant because she's alone and she's the basement wife.
Yes.
And if she didn't have good relationships with the OG3 or Robin for a little while, then like, yeah, where does she turn? But it's inappropriate though, Christine. Like you shouldn't have been talking to your kids about your marriage struggles at all.
Right.
Even if they do see it, you're supposed to be the parent and just be like, yeah, you know, we're going through a hard time.
It's kind of a fine line, though. And may I speak to that a little bit? Like when you have a parent who's absent or you have a parent who is doing something inappropriate or not conducting themselves the way that they should as a parent, and you know that, and your child doesn't really have anybody else to talk to except for you. Like you have to be able to validate and acknowledge what they're accurately feeling in reaction to something that's happening without throwing the other person under the bus.
Yep.
And Christine doesn't strike me as somebody with a lot of intelligent finesse in any way. So I can see her maybe not handling that correctly, but also feeling like she's got to do something.
Yeah. And that, like you said, it is a fine balance because it's like, yeah, you want to be there for your kid, but you shouldn't be actively like denouncing their relationship with their other parent. Like you should try to advocate for them to still want to be in a relationship with them or figure it out on their own, you know, and just be there as the parent. But I think Christine's been talking shit to all of them, to be honest. I think there's some truth to that.
I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Just kind of based on how she's conducting herself this season in particular.
Yep.
She's just petty.
A little bit.
She's gloaty.
Yeah.
She's just like going out of her way to maybe make somebody feel bad on the other end of things. So I can kind of see where it might happen. But I'm not judging her because she's come out of a hellish situation.
And Kody sucks. It's not like he's a redeemable person. So
and Robin sucks too.
I know.
Garbage people. Yeah. Garbage.
Total garbage.
The last flashback that I pulled from that episode was also Salsa Brava, and the subject of COVID comes up, and we get to see Kody, you know, talking about how sick he was, and we see Christine laughing with the rest of us.
Yeah.
She's a straight up raccoon in this dumpster just laughing because he's such a fucking baby.
Bitch baby.
And we see clips of hers like, I was with him for 27 long years. And when that man gets sick, he's such a fucking pamper baby toddler boy. And I'm so happy I'm not married to him anymore. And she laughs.
Yeah.
And then we pan to Kody and Robin on the couch. And
she's like, I'm so sorry that Christine laughed at you. And then she defends Kody and is like, well, that's not my experience with you when you're sick. Because when you're sick, or when I'm sick or whatever, you step
on my
up.
Deathbed.
Yeah.
When I was on my deathbed at the ER clinic that I walked into of my own volition with my 99-degree temperature and my hair coiffed in this hoodie. When I was on my deathbed.
You were there for me.
You couldn't stay sick.
Yeah.
You did it for Aurora.
You were crawling on the ground and doing what you could to help us and our family.
Because the clip is dealing with the fact that COVID D is asking Christine to get her kids COVID tested before they can come to the McMansion.
Yeah.
And Christine in the clip is just like, oh, really?
Why?
Like, we're still fucking doing that? You just had COVID? And it's like, well, Aurora hasn't. And so on the couch, Robin's like, you're doing it for Aurora. You're protecting our family, Kody.
Okay.
God, shut up.
Whatever.
Shut up.
Suck his dick even harder.
Yeah.
God.
And he's just like, I know, I really was doing it for Aurora and our family. Doing it all for you, Robin.
And Christine's mean to me.
They're laughing at me.
Yeah, we're all laughing at you.
Oh, God, they're so mean. I love it. Keep laughing. All right, Sister Wives Talk Back Part 2.
Bitch.
All right, we start with a flashback. Meri saying she felt emotionally abandoned by Kody. Duh.
Yeah, we
know. Many
know.
years ago. And by the way, well before the catfishing.
Yeah, duh.
Which Christine co-signs.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, for sure. I was also in a bad relationship with Kody at the time, but Meri had it particularly bad.
Which is really sad.
Mm-hmm.
That all of these wives had to see each other's marriages just like totally suffer while Robin's just so happy.
Mm-hmm.
Just living her
great.
best life.
God, it's awesome. Kody in this particular clip says that there was an effort to reconcile once they got to Flagstaff, but when they were together, it just wasn't healthy. And he has talked in these talkbacks and lookbacks, he's talked about how the intention was like to try and fix it with Meri, but when they actually kind of got into a room together, like they rubbed each other the wrong way, and or the way he's framing it, I'm trying to decipher through the dumb man word salad, but the way he's trying to frame it is like her abrasive personality, the way that she is, her attitude was just too much for him. Like, they're not compatible in any way. Like, I'm like, what is Meri doing? Like, she's lonely.
Right.
In her Flagstaff haunted house.
Yep.
Living alone through COVID. She's desperate for anybody to pay attention to her. You see her once a year.
Yep.
Like, I imagine she's making you your favorite dinner.
Yep.
I imagine she's perfuming her punani.
Totally.
I imagine she's prancing around in an apron, trying to accommodate you. Like, what are you saying she's doing that's so hard for you to tolerate?
She's trying to love him, and he fell out of love with her after the catfishing thing. Like, I guarantee. I mean, he probably fell out of love with her
100%.
when he married Robin, like way from the get-go.
The catfish was the best thing that ever happened to him, because now he can point to that in the timeline and say, at that point, I fell fell out of love with Meri Brown. No.
Because she betrayed
no, bitch.
me.
You would go to sleep. You would turn your back on her. You would not talk to her. You would not visit her. You did not dick her down with your 4-inch thin penis, pencil penis, pamper pencil penis.
You're chode.
You're chode.
He's such a piece of shit, dude. He cannot admit, like, that's why he has this narrative with all 3 of the wives. Like, Janelle wasn't loyal, Meri betrayed him, and Christine was a shit sister wife. All of these things he tells himself every single day. He goes to bed praying this to himself because he believes this narrative so much. So that way he can shove off the blame. Like, that's what he's really shoving off. Like, he's shoving off his family, yeah, but he's shoving off all of the blame and the accountability and the shame, the deep, immense shame he must feel.
He doesn't have the capacity for
fucking
shame.
up his family. I think he has it in there somewhere. No. He just doesn't want to turn it on. It's like Beep Boop Bop Barry from Welcome to Plathville.
He has capacity.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, well,
but no, during their marriage with Kim, he
capacity exists. It doesn't. I mean, it's something that exists inside of you, like, and then you tap into it. I just don't think Kody has it.
I don't know. I think it's buried deep down. It'll come out eventually, like when he's old and fucking
on his deathbed, his actual deathbed.
He's gonna be
Robin
one of those
is
people.
onto her next husband, and all of his family is gone,
and he's broke, living in some dorm apartment.
McKelty and Tony still living off the sister wives' teat, and being the only one 100%. There. Just, Lord. Okay, the next flashback we have is Meri saying that. Kody saying that he doesn't consider himself married to her and that she can move on and find somebody else. Like, her watching that back last season was insulting and vulgar. And so Kody and Robin are sitting on the couch, dour, and Kody seems legitimately perplexed as to why Meri would even talk about that.
I mean, what do you mean?
Because it's devastating. Because seeing the things you're saying behind her back, but to the nation, is humiliating.
Yes. Which is so interesting because when they played back that scene again of him saying, like, if she wanted to get married to somebody else, like, I wouldn't care. It's interesting when you go back to, like, season 1 and 2, when he's confronted with that question of, like, well, hey, Kody, what if one of your wives wanted to have brother husbands? At that time in the earlier seasons, he's like, that's a vulgar, disgusting question. Right. I will never entertain that answer. Right. And now you're saying that you come full circle because, you know, you don't believe in polygamy anymore and you don't believe in this faith anymore. But, like, I don't know. I just think that's interesting. And it just is a showcase of how much she really has changed.
And that is a great point. So she's having the same reaction that you had years ago. And now you're sitting here like, well, why is she even saying that? And then he says, because she always wants to be a victim.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody's a fucking victim. God.
And then Christine says something that I don't know if I heard correctly and I didn't bother to rewind to clarify, which sounds like, can you imagine how awful it would be to find out that your marriage is over on social media and through a text?
Yeah, I wonder what that means. Like, did Kody text Meri?
Was there a text? Did
Why
anybody
aren't we
talk
hearing about that?
Text? Did I hear that wrong? But I think that she's alluding to a potential breakup over text, but I have no idea. I would like to know more.
Yeah.
I would like to lodge a complaint and also ask for more information.
Please.
Kody and Robin then take a question. The question is, I think it's awesome that you guys found each other and just want to be together. I think you should own it and just say that, yo.
Yeah.
To which Kody gets really defensive.
Very defensive. He's like, Jeff, you don't know what you're talking about, and you only see a small fraction of our life.
20 hours.
And then fucking Robin is like going to cover his face and is like, shut the fuck up, first of all. Like, he's just trying to be nice, and Cody's taking it out of proportion.
Like, no, he's just reading the tabloids too much.
Why can't you admit that to yourself, though? Because we all see that.
Because that is an encapsulating of his deep and utter failure as a father and as a husband. So for him to say, you know, you're right. This is my home girl. I love her breakdancing pussy. Pop that pussy, baby. Pop that pussy. I love it. I'm here for it. Ain't no other turkey for me. Like, for you to say that means you admit that she's your favorite wife.
But he's saying that over and over and over again, though. In season 18, Robin's the love of my life. Robin's my soulmate. When her and I got together, that was the happiest time of my entire life. Like,
that's the double speak that I can't take. Like, you know, out of both sides of your mouth.
Yes.
We were so happy in Lehigh.
Yeah.
We had magical times together. Remember our Renaissance in Las Vegas? Next part of his mouth saying, I never loved her.
Ever.
The sacrifices I had to make.
A knife in the
Wasted. I don't understand any. I mean, these are the stories, the erratic, frenetic stories he has to tell himself in order to keep himself from having a complete and total breakdown.
Oh, 100%.
Crazy.
Yep.
Next flashback, we have Christine when she and Janelle visit her family in Idaho, and they're asking about what happened with Kody, and she's like, yeah, he wasn't attracted to me, and yeah, I just felt like I had to move on. But the real crux of it is Christine saying to the camera, like, I really want to be able to say this in front of Janelle because I want Janelle to know that there's like life after Kody and it can get better and you could leave and you could be happy. And then we cut to Janelle.
And she's pissed off by this, which I loved this. She's just like, I don't need this, Christine. Like, I've left Kody. I want literally nothing to do with him. I'm separated. But I like Flagstaff. Like, I'm staying here because I like it. Some of my kids are here. It's great. And also my assets and finances are still all jumbled up. I got to fucking figure all of that out and figure out how to untangle myself. But like, I don't need your patronizing bullshit. Like, I get that you've left and you're happy and you found your new man, but don't coddle me like that. Or like, don't, baby
like,
me
I don't
like
need
that.
to be empowered to leave. Like, I'm already gone.
I'm already peaced out.
I haven't moved, but I've left him.
Yes.
So like, save me from your bullshit.
I loved that.
And I do think that was important for her to say. I wonder if she's had that conversation separately to Christine's face or if Christine's hearing it with us. But either way, Christine needs to hear it because it's boundary stopping.
Yes.
And it's like, this is my relationship. And as much as you and I might have in common because we're married to the same douchebag, doesn't mean you know how I feel or how I process my own situation. Like, let me do my own shit. Don't tell me what to do.
Yes.
Don't like produce moments so that I can have an epiphany. Thank you. I'm smart. This is my relationship. Shut the fuck up.
It does give a little bit of like holier than thou mentality because Christine was the first one to leave. So therefore she's got to show the way for the other wives.
Right.
She's the Moses or whatever. It's like, shut up.
She's competitive. She had to be the first one to leave.
That Aries energy, bitch.
Yes. Okay, now we get into a series of reactions. We're back on Coyote Pass. We are with Meri and Robin and Kody. We're having this, conversation. Well, we start by having the conversation about the property and we're talking about division of property. And here is where I think Meri understands that she doesn't have a legal leg to stand on. But if she can get Kody to clarify how the property lines are drawn and even to concede some of it for her, she could then take that, I think, and use it as a legal basis to go into court and say, look, he said it. He said I could have it. Yes. I don't know. I think she's trying to get him to say things. First of all, the division of assets, the property. Second of all, the fact that you're the one that doesn't want the relationship, right?
Yes.
We see Robin being super fucking emotional, which is annoying. We see Christine going, oh God, with Robin crying. We see Jen. This is when Jen actually joins Meri. And so she starts watching too. And so she sees Robin getting emotional as they're having this conversation. And she's like, why is this bitch crying?
Yeah. Why is she making it all about herself? And it's like, yes, that's what we've all been asking since we've seen this scene. So I love Jen for Meri. I wonder if Jen's been doing this the entire time she's been married to Kody. And Meri just hasn't been able to listen because she is so loyal, Kody. She's very loyal. So I loved that Jen was just calling Robin out on her bullshit.
Me too. And she's like, furthermore, it's selfish for her to like be encouraging you to stay or this marriage can work when she knows firsthand that you're not happy.
Yep.
And so why is she trying to get you to stay? Which of course Christine also echoes. She's like, it's not cool to string her along. Like, let her go. And by the way, why are you here?
Right.
Thank you for somebody calling this out. Like, why are you here? You're not necessary to their relationship. At the same time, I can understand because Meri probably feels like she's not just breaking up with Kody.
Yep.
She's also breaking up with Robin.
Of course. Yeah. Well, and also Robin speaks Kody. We can't forget that. Right.
Of course. And so she tries to clarify that for Jen. Like, well, she's unhappy. She's crying because this isn't just my dream and my marriage that is ending. This is also affecting her vision for the family. And so I can understand why she'd be hurt. I think Meri has so much grace for Robin.
Totally does.
I think you know what? I like how Meri is playing it because at the same time, I think she sees Robin for who she is.
Totally.
But she's not getting nasty.
Yep.
She's clearly been in therapy. She's working on herself. She's conducting herself with great composure. It's Jen, though, from the side who's sniping, and I love it.
Oh, yeah. I love it, too. And it also speaks to what we've talked about on the pod, like with Robin's crying at Coyote Pass and that being the finale for season 18. Like, we believe that was real emotion, genuine emotion from Robin, because maybe she did have that actual dream of the porch dream with all of the sister wives. Like, she wanted this big, happy family. But it's the way that she went about it and her not being able to take any kind of accountability and for her constantly defending Kody as he destroys his relationships with all these women and the kids.
Yes. So there are a few things that are being discussed here. Let's focus on the property first because Meri wants her share.
Yeah.
And she feels that if Janelle gets 4 acres and Robin gets 4 acres and she has 2 acres and there's, I guess, 4 more acres. So should she get another 2s to make it even? And Cody's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Right.
Yeah.
But then we have Meri saying, well, we purchased this land. And when we did, it was divided in the way that it was. And then Christine saying, and get a surveyor.
Yeah.
Have somebody come out, make them equal portions so that you get your fair share. It's not that fucking hard.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to do that. And his justification for this is he is the father. He has the connection to all 18 of the children. So he should have at least one plot for himself where the children can access it because we all know that Meri doesn't share resources.
Yeah, which is fucked up to say when she's been providing for this family this whole entire time, selling her house and giving the proceeds to Robin to buy her McMansion.
Probably contributing her TLC share into the family LLC.
Yep.
This all goes back, I think, to the Lehigh house where Meri didn't want all the kids running from Christine's house to Janelle's house through her house, which is in the middle. And I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting there like trying to have your own moment with your own kid or your own husband and all these kids are just running back and forth through your kitchen.
That's a lot.
Shit, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess there's some resentment that grew from that, her not letting them come through. But whatever. That doesn't mean she doesn't share resources.
Right. Exactly. And then Janelle calls this all out, like the division of the resources in the land with like, well, Robin, you're married to Kody. So you would get your 4 acres and then half of his. So it doesn't make it fair that Kody gets 4 acres. And Robin says that she deserves her portion. Meri does agree with this because she's like, well, yeah, she is a sister wife. Yes. She deserves her equal portion. 100%. That's fine. And I think it was Christine or Janelle. I can't remember which one said it. Like, it would have just made sense if everybody was divided equally. Like, that's just the solution here, but we can't do that. Like, there's no equality in this family at all.
It's all at Cody's discretion. It's what he wants and it's how he decides it.
Yep.
They go through the breakup part of the conversation and then Kody says, hey, do you want to walk the property? And this is where Jen's like, and he wonders why you were confused for 10 years as to whether the marriage could continue or not. Because on the one hand, he's telling you, I don't want to have anything to do with you. But on the other hand, he wants you to walk the property. He wants you to still be on the hook for some sort of a connection with him because he wants to continue to be able to use you, Meri.
Yep. Like bonking her on the head with it.
Janelle calls out. She's like, look, watch very carefully because what he's doing is working angles here.
Yes.
He's trying to say the right thing to get as much real estate or purchase, which are great codes and words. He's trying to find the right angle to get what he can from Meri in this moment.
It is really insidious.
It is.
How Kody acts with all of these women. Like, we've talked about how Robin's been the puppet master and been very Machiavellian. And I think part of that is true because she wanted her way and she wanted to be the queen bee. But like, really, Cody's fucking crazy. Like, so abusive. Like, with how he manipulates all of these
100%.
women just to do his bidding. It's fucking gross.
Yes. We see Robin crying
again.
Jen's like, why is she so fucking upset?
Yep.
And Christine's like, oh, she's back because she stalks off, if we all recall, and then she stalks back because nobody chased her. And Robin, are you okay? I know that Meri's getting her whole heart broken and her life devastated right now, but like, are you okay? Everybody
Let's
follow Robin.
You.
So she comes back, and Christine's like, why is she here and why is she back? Nobody cares. Go away. After that, we have the part of the conversation on Coyote Pass where we talk about the sacred covenant. And to refresh those of you who might be popping in, I can't imagine there's one raccoon who doesn't know what this is. But this is where Kody turns to Robin and says, you made me make a sacred covenant with you that we would never let our relationship get to a pitiful place and just stay in it. I'm paraphrasing. And so it's this idea of the sacred covenant, which this is where Christine is making all of her barf noises, I think. I think this is
She's like, this
point.
is so gross. Ugh.
This is where Janelle says, that's kind of a weird covenant to make at the beginning of a relationship.
Very
like, why would you feel the need to do that? And then we have Jen
calling it out for what it is, which we said a couple episodes ago.
We're smart, raccoons.
We're so smart. We're doing it.
We're nocturnal. We're up at night.
psychics.
We're studying.
Where Jen calls it out and is like, maybe they made this sacred covenant and they made it so specific because Robin saw how he was acting with all of you three and said, I don't want that shit for myself. I want you to promise me you're not going to make me be a pathetic ass bitch in this marriage, and you better prioritize me in our marriage. So I love that she called that out, and Mary's like shocked by it. Like, I didn't.
Is she though?
I mean,
if
yes, it's Mary.
two dopes on the internet have thought that through and worked out that situation, is Mary a somewhat intelligent, seemingly intelligent woman
Mary's
of a certain age, not able to divine that information for? Come on.
She stayed with this dope of a man for 10 years because she still had hope.
Spiritual commitment, honey.
Well,
Celestial kingdom. Don't forget.
I get that.
Loyal.
But like,
honor.
Of course she wouldn't see in this moment that this sacred covenant was Robin saying, I don't want to be like these bitches.
I don't want to end up a Mary Brown
Yeah.
or a Christine Brown.
Please don't.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it dawns on Mary, oh shit. Kody was filling Robin in from the very beginning about how he felt about the other wives, which may lend credence, wouldn't it, to his idea that he was never in love with them.
I just still can't
I don't
believe that,
know.
because it's like you still in the same breath say that what you had in Lehigh was magical and beautiful and that you loved your wives and everything. So I think he just fell out of love the second that he met Robin, because he was just mesmerized and hypnotized by that breakdance and pussy, and he just
even
couldn't.
said he was crying.
Yeah.
Those first few months, I'm crying. Because
So
I'm in
beautiful.
love. She's so beautiful. She's a diesel model. Diesel G
Cute.
model. All right, we're about to wind it up. We've been ranting and crazy. So one of the final flashbacks that I selected was, of course, Robin sitting alone on the bench after Kody fucking gets out of there, and Mary leaves. She's crying and she's like, I want to sit on the porch. And then as she's saying that, the producers are cutting in, scenes from years before where Kody is running into the family syphilitic, leprotic groundhog pond. Thank you. I'm smart. Groundhog, hedgehog, prairie dog, some kind of dog with syphilis infecting that land. He's running into with his boxer briefs and
that
his
pond,
6-pack abs.
Ew.
And so they're showing a clip of that. Mary's watching that with Jen, who's laughing. And Mary's like, we could use a little less of Kody, actually.
Oh, yeah. We could use a lot less of this. And that's actually a lot of critiques online about these talkbacks, is like, they're very heavy on Kody and Robin. Nobody fucking cares about y'all.
Nope.
All y'all suck. You guys have been lying this whole entire time.
And still lying.
Fuck y'all.
Stay lying.
Ugh, get out of here.
And then we go back to Robin, I want to sit on the porch, and then cut into Janelle saying, well, if you wanted that, then you should have encouraged Kody to step up to his spiritual obligation to take care of the whole family, to take care of his wives, and to take care of his kids. Because see, if he had done that, if he had been the actual patriarch and done his duty as a spiritual leader of this family, then this shit wouldn't be happening. So maybe if you had done something, bitch, you wouldn't be crying on a bench with snot coming out of your nose.
For real. It makes it so hard, because like, I want to believe that she came into this family with okay intentions, like that she did want the family to be good, because like, I mean, I want to believe that people are good at heart, but then you do shit like this.
You're
and
making
it's
shit
like,
up for the internet.
No, I do. I'm a very forgiving person. I love people. I want people to be good at heart, but it's just like hard when you do shit like this and you're crying about the shit that you did. Like, you're the one that took part in this, and you enabled Kody to abandon his family. So it's like, I can't feel bad for you.
Cut to Christine, who's like, I don't understand what you don't understand, Robin. Bitch. Because when you monopolize a man who has other wives and take them away from all of his other children? A plural marriage cannot work under those circumstances. So cry me a fucking river out on Coyote Pass looking at the mountain when you're the one who did it.
Yeah, bitch.
And I'm like, absolutely.
Based.
And finally, we have Jen saying that the sad thing, honestly, is that the only person who's satisfied by what has happened is Kody. He's the only one who's happy. He's not even happy. He's satisfied with what's happened. But all the other wives who were promised these new beginnings, even Robin, never got them.
I know, which begs the question, like, if she's going to actually stay with him. Like, is she really happy with all of this? I mean, now they're probably struggling financially. They ain't got no money. I mean, they've got the TLC checks probably from this last season. It's precarious,
though. It is. Could you, if it was me and you, if we were Kody and Robin, after having done all of this evil, you don't think we'd see the writing on the wall and we'd be like, okay, if we can eke it out, maybe we've got 2 to 5 more seasons.
Yep.
At, I don't know, 100,000 each for us a season. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more after this season. But even so.
Yeah.
And I've got no prospects, no fucking education. Neither do you. You've never worked a day in your life except to run up debt at Victoria's Secret. What are we going to do in 3 years?
I mean, they're going to have to sell their house. I mean, that's why we talked about a couple episodes ago, like them with their renovations for their McMansion. Like, what if they're getting it ready to sell?
That's what I would be doing as a financially responsible person. I would be downsizing. And all you adult kids, get your ass out or pay rent.
Yep.
Okay, the very last thing we see is somebody asking Meri a question, which is, are you going to date again? And I'm actually glad we leave it on this and not on Robin's snotty crying out on Coyote Pass, because I want that for Meri very much. And of course, the Raccoons reported weeks ago that there was a Meri sighting. She was out with some sort of gentleman who seemed kind of handsome. I don't know. Seemed kind of handsome, Papa. What's your name? She's out having lunch or something with some rando dude. And I'm like, get it. Yes. So Meri very quickly says, yes, I will date again. And then Jen's like, so what kind of guy? And she's like, tall. Jen says tall. And he's like, tall, which means to me that she thinks that Cody's a shrimpy shorty, Napoleonic man, even though he's allegedly 5'11", which for men, that means 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah.
Unless they're wearing their lifts. And Kody looks like a guy who would wear lifts.
Well, she wants somebody tall because then they'll have a bigger dick.
I mean, that's the hope. That's the hope and the prayer of all the women.
Girl.
And the last thing she's like is, maybe a pilot, which gave me the vibes.
Yeah, vibe check.
Vibe check. Gave me the vibes that maybe she's already met somebody and he's a pilot, because that was oddly specific. Don't you think, Raccoons?
From your lips to God's ears, bitch.
Well, it's not a Harley. Well,
not a Harley Davidson.
A pilot could have a
Maybe
Harley.
He could have a Harley.
I bet he has a Harley.
Oh my God. I mean, it's still adventurous. Like the whole idea of her being with somebody with a Harley, I've just thought like she needs somebody with a sense of adventure who will take her out, going camping, fucking in the Grand Canyon or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like get freaky.
Get it, Meri.
I just want that for you, Meri, so bad.
Well, it felt to me in my intuitive
fake
energy.
Psychic?
Yeah, my intuitive energy. I felt like, I wonder if she's already met somebody. Oh my God. She looked better too.
Yes.
There was some section of one of the talkbacks or something where she's looking at a series of clips of her hairdo. Meri is like her hairdos throughout the years, and she's like, "Oh God, thank God I have better hair now."
I'm like, girl, really?
And then I like paused it and I looked at her hair and I'm like, Meri.
Like, are you sure about that? The John Cena head. Are you sure about that?
Meri. I
mean. Put a mirror up.
But in any event, I thought she looked really cute in her yellow hoodie. I think she looks sporty. I think she looks like she's lost a bunch of weight, however much Kody weighs. That's
emotional weight too.
Lighter.
Yes.
Laughing.
Which makes me really happy because she's been so sad for so many seasons. All we want is the best for her and for Janelle and for Christine.
That's all we want.
Yes. Screw Kody and Robin.
Yeah, I could please. If
could
it's
care
not
less.
their downfall, I don't care.
Yep, I don't want to see it.
Or their redemption arc because they come into some insightful realizations of self. But
maybe they do some ayahuasca and realize that
barely
they fucked
conscious.
Up. I know.
I mean, we're getting back to consciousness tears again.
Oh, bottom of the
we
barrel,
need to
dude.
really organize this. I mean, because we're up at 4 and 5. Like we're almost
so much
ascended.
better. Yeah.
For Raccoons. We're almost ascended. Like our fucking chakras are shining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totes.
Then we've got like 3, and that's just your average 9 to 5er, just trying to get home.
Yeah.
I got to feed my kids. I mean, I'll read a book tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then we've got 2. And they're just like, I
NPCs,
just want to fucking
vampires.
do my drugs and play PlayStation. I don't give a fuck about anything. I hope it burns. No, that's probably tier 1.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is sub 1.
Yeah.
Cody
yeah.
is sub 1.
Subhuman
He's
ghoul.
stuck in the manosphere. It's a 2024. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
It's a election year.
Ugh.
He's going to be all crazy, rabid.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Robin.
my
taking
God.
his fucking tea, his testosterone, his steroids. My God. Drinking, because he's been drinking.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
that picture of him with all that beer, getting drunk.
Becoming an alcoholic.
Yeah, can't
Balding
get his
even
dick
more.
hard.
Oh my
He's
God.
got erectile
Taking
dysfunction.
Cialis.
Absolutely.
Yes.
A cocktail of medicines. And he's losing his fucking shit in the election year. Can you imagine if Biden wins? He's going to lose his fight. It's it for him.
Yep.
He's got the vein bulging, his fucking temple, his jugular's jutting out. He just can't take it anymore.
I know.
I love it.
I love to see it.
That's
honestly.
what I want to see.
Yeah.
Because you deserve it all.
Give it to us, TLC.
That is right.
Also, fuck you, TLC.
Yeah, I hate
for
you.
not putting any
Discovery-
of this shit
yeah.
on Discovery Plus or
You
Max.
should have taken care of the raccoons because guess what? We've been taking care of you for 18 motherfucking seasons.
We made you, TLC.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Where's the respect?
God?
So do we think, in conclusion, do we think that we're going to have Discovery Plus broadcast the wedding specials? Like, am I going to be able to sign on to Discovery Plus next Monday or Sunday night and see the first wedding special?
No, my gut feeling is they're not going to be on Discovery Plus or Max. I feel like they're not going to until after they fucking aired.
God, I'm going to have to go up on Facebook and find somebody
some
from another
bootleg
country
fucking version. Yes.
uploading it for my viewing
Pirated
pleasure.
version.
I do not pirate. I would tell you that right now. I don't believe in
yeah.
that. I mean, they prosecute on that, girl. You don't want to be. Don't pirate stuff.
Everybody pirates shit
I
on
don't
the
pirate
internet.
anything, and nor should you or any of you.
Okay, whatever.
Sometimes it's on YouTube too. Like if it's really like sometimes right after it airs, you can get up on YouTube and find something. But then they zoom in and zoom
It's such
out.
a
It's like,
booty
oh
version.
God, you got to be drunk or high to get through
This is
it.
what we have to do to watch this shit. Thank you,
The
TLC.
sacrifices we make
The knife in the
to
kidney.
love you. Anyway, we'll be back though.
We will be back.
We'll be back.
We're gonna watch
talk about the first installment of Christine's wedding special. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that. I'm glad all of this is over because I'm sick of Cody
I'm
Brown.
tired of it.
I'm heartened and emboldened to know that I won't be seeing him a whole lot.
Well, except
the
for our
next 2 weeks.
rewinds.
Oh yeah. Well, he was a different guy back then.
Yes,
It's much more
it's
palatable.
different. Yeah.
And as a reminder, we are going as soon as we're done with this season
All
and
these
the wedding
specials.
specials, we're going right back to rewinds
Yep.
because we can't get enough
Yeah.
of the garbage that is Sister Wives.
We're
And
addicted.
on that note, is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, I sure hope you go up onto your favorite podcast platform and give us a glowing 5-star review. Really helps us grow the pod, so thank you so much.
Oh, we would really appreciate it. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. And until next week, never forget that we have nothing but love for you and peace out.
Bye.
Bye.